Welcome back. Innovative, experienced, results-oriented. 3 words that best describe businessman Thomas Dortch Jr., or as his friends like to call him, Tommy. Over the course of his 40-year career, he's led or created dozens of organizations and initiatives. Armed with multiple degrees, he is fire-tested. Dortch is working to level the playing field for minority businesses, continually driven by childhood lessons of fairness and equity. A daily practitioner of the philosophy, each one teach one, he talks about a life of quality in today's Executive Profiles.
So let's begin with Toccoa, Georgia. You're clearly the most famous person to come out of Toccoa. Who else came out of Toccoa?
Well, we had the great James Brown. He was born in North Augusta. He was born in North Augusta, but he started his musical career in Toccoa, Georgia.
I didn't know that.
My first cousin, Bobby Bird, was one of the original members, and the Swilling brothers, who came, Georgia Tech and New Orleans Saints. So we had a few folks to come out.
But you're number one in my book.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Counts.
I tell you, and I still love that city. So when people say, where are you from? I said, from the north.
That's it.
North Georgia.
It's 1974. Okay, you're through with college.
Yes.
And you come to Atlanta and you go into government.
I was headed to the Ohio State. I had a full ride at Ohio State, and then I had a full ride at Georgia State as a Ford Fellow. But Julian Bond, Ben Brown, the late Ben Brown, John Lewis, Lonnie King, all of them said, you need to come to Atlanta. And so I came here. They appointed me associate director of the State Democratic Party. I was the number 2 person at age 23.
1978, Sam Nunn.
Now that was the best move I ever made. Being associate director of the Democratic Party, I spent a lot of time with George Busby, who I think was one of our great governors, a phenomenal leader. And when you look at our international business, he's the one who really started that effort.
Absolutely.
And I would travel quite a bit with Governor Busby, did international travel and all. And I get a call, Senator Nunn wants you to have lunch with him. We spent 2 hours just talking about issues, talking about what's going on in the world. And at the end of it, he said, well, Tommy, I really would like to have you on my team. I never looked back. Went to work in '78 with Sam Nunn, stayed 16 years. He's still today one of my best mentors. Even today, he asked for my advice because he knew I would tell it like it is. That's what has helped me transition from public service for 22 years into business.
So you've been successful in business now for a couple of decades.
Yes. I own 6 businesses, and they range from everywhere from parking and transportation. Even bought a mattress manufacturing company out of Orlando. My first company, TWD, my consulting firm, has done quite well. I've closed deals for clients from $1.1 billion. For one client, I've done $115 million on defined contribution deals for a number of clients. I mean, I actually helped in the revamping of the General Motors Minority Dealers Program years ago. If you're not at the table, you cannot help to affect what's on the table. And a lot of times when I go, it's not about what comes to me, it's about how do I help open the doors of opportunity. And I probably lost millions of dollars from being an advocate as opposed to being a straight business person and looking just out for me. And a lot of my colleagues say, why do you do that? I've taken on some of the Fortune 500 companies in this city when they weren't doing right. Lost a little money, but eventually they did right. The one thing I will not sell my soul, and if you don't stand for something in business, you really can't be in business.
I know that about half your time is spent in philanthropy and doing good.
Yes.
Let's stop at a few places.
Okay.
Let's begin with 100 Black Men.
Yes, that's been a labor of love. I'm one of the original charter members of the 100 Black Men of Atlanta, focused on mentoring, helping to uplift for our children, making sure that we reinvested in community, and understanding that success had to be shared. See, the problem we've had over the years, and that's why I still remain in Southwest Atlanta, when African American business folks became successful and professionals, they moved out of the neighborhood. A lot of them did. So young people growing up could not see success. They couldn't talk to successful people as abundantly unless you lived in the right neighborhood. And so my commitment has been going back, and the 100, giving back. And what we say is what they see is what they'll be.
Young men of distinction.
Oh, the Young Men of Distinction is a select group of young men from all walks of life, from different neighborhoods that the school brings together, usually 30 to 35. My money managers go in and teach them how to read stock. They read Wall Street Journal. They go in on the computer to check to see how their stock's doing. I gave them $5,000 and told them, okay, this is your money to create your own stock portfolio. You can select any stock you want. I can't tell you what to buy. I can't tell you if you sell it, but the only thing you have to do is defend why you did it. And let me tell you, it's so amazing. At 1 year, they had a 22% return on their portfolio. These are middle school young boys, and they come from, as I said, public housing, and they come from every community. But I tell them in those classes, if one fails, all of you fail. Young Men of Distinction is my passion. I cheer up on them because I see a lot of the young people who were like me and myself growing up in a segregated community, and people who cared about us and came in. But these young people are so smart. It's giving them time, giving them access. Back to our theme, what they see is what they'll be.
I got one last topic for you.
Okay.
Talk about wine, Tommy.
Oh,
Talk
man.
about wine.
I love wines. I've been to South Africa, to the Stellenbosch region, Italy, to go enjoy wines. But I figure if I'm gonna buy so much wine, I might as well have my own. So I've cut a number of deals on fine wine. And so I figured that's the new business networking piece. And as a matter of fact, I closed a good deal with a nice bottle of fine wine.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you for taking the time and stopping and sharing your nonstop life. I thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
Tommy Dortch created the National Black College Alumni Hall of Fame to spotlight the many contributions of historically black colleges and universities. He also serves as an ambassador for the global nonprofit Operation Hope, where he helps advance financial literacy initiatives.